summarizing the world in terms of wealth, even people who are on welfare in Australia are so much better off than the majority of the world. Now, if we make welfare too good in this country, we make it hard to bring in migrants because the welfare is too high. There's a level of expectation that those new migrants will take that welfare, and that's an issue, in my opinion, because there are a lot of people who are turned away from this country, who can provide good things to this country, and who will actually do much better here because the regulatory environment is much nicer. There's less corruption, there's less oppression, right? So we have to address that, like what counts as a citizen's dividend, or should we call it something else? How do we address tax issues if we have a flat tax for, of 40% on top of your basic income? Does the person who's a international student who earns less than minimum wage because they're working illegally or something like that, they get taxed at that really, really high rate immediately? And that's an issue. So that's point one. There's three more. Okay, so very, very, very quickly, there are two standing models on basic income in Australia, and one's the Pirate Party model, and one's the model that's created by me as part of the Future Party. And my model says that most implementations of basic income would result in a $35 billion per year shortfall. Now, this is going to possibly be made up through additional innovation. We don't know that. We don't know what...
There'll be a lag.
Shortfall in what?
Yeah, there'll be a lag.
In the budget?
In the budget.
So
yeah.
what?
$35 billion per year on year. That's like, that's a lot of money.
How much is that paying each citizen per year?
13,000.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's around about Centrelink levels. And that's not even a lot of money, right? That's not enough to pay rent in this country. The other thing is the welfare that I've achieved so far was not unconditional. Everything that I got money for, I had to either compete for or I had to fulfill requirements. So I had to attend education. So maybe instead of calling it unconditional income, maybe we could allow people to have start a business year where you have to start a business, but it's not unconditional.
You'd lose a lot of the advantages of basic income by doing that. The
yes.
of...
Yeah, he just
And
mentioned the non-profit.
Yeah, this is
benefits,
just
right?
one point on this. I'll let people speak
Maybe,
after
yeah.
this. And then finally, what do we call basic, right? So we have the most expensive thing for people in this country is rent, right? And we can solve that really easily. We just need to build more houses which aren't as fancy with marble tops, marble top kitchens and all that kind of stuff, right? So we just need to provide housing at a cheaper rate, and we can lower the basic income, make it more affordable. Anyway, thoughts?
I'm just going to jump in there and say I think the housing crisis in Australia is much more than just building more houses. That you have negative gearing, you have capital gains, low capital gains tax. It's a much bigger problem than just building more houses. It's
Infrastructure is the biggest.
Okay.
Like,
there is.
you can't have a house without water, electricity.
I'm going to jump
it just
away
doesn't
from.
work.
I'm going to jump away from
So
that
we
a
should
little
work
bit.
on that as well, right?
But I think conditional basic income actually detracts away from what a universal basic income is about. But I'm not saying it's not valuable as well. And I would actually like to thank you very much for bringing up something, because it's a bit like an echo chamber when you get all these people together who think all the same way. And I really thank you for coming along and raising that, because I know you have a very different view on a lot of it. But I know from personal conversation our end goals are the same. We just differ about how we're going to get there. Thank you very much. Is there?
Yeah, I need to follow up on this.
Yeah. But yeah, thank you.